You remember that video I did about kitchen cabinets you should avoid? Well, that was about layout. This is about something way more expensive. How your cabinets are actually built. Pick the wrong construction style and you just paid 30% more for less. I'm Blake from Built by Becker, and apparently I can't stop talking about kitchen cabinets. But here's the thing, most people are making a huge decision about cabinet construction without even knowing they're making it. Today, we're gonna break down 3 common styles so you'll actually know what you're buying. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones make sense for your budget, your style, and most importantly, your kitchen. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. I share honest construction advice every week that'll save you thousands. And if you wanna go deeper, I've got a design starter kit with planning tools that'll keep you from making expensive mistakes. I'll tell you more about it at the end of the video. All right, let's start with the basics, because a lot of people don't even realize that there are different ways to build cabinets. When you're shopping for kitchen cabinets, you're not just choosing a color or a door style. You're choosing a fundamental construction method that affects everything from how much storage you get to how often you'll be adjusting doors 5 years from now. Think of cabinet construction like the foundation of a house. Everything else gets built on top of this decision. The 3 main types are Inset, Frameless, and Framed. And yeah, those names are confusing at first. And honestly, just looking at photos real quick, they don't look that different. So let me break it down simply. Inset cabinets. If you've been on Pinterest or Instagram looking at kitchen inspiration, you've seen these. That flush furniture quality look where the door sits perfectly inside the frame with a tiny reveal all the way around. It is gorgeous. And I get why people want them and why people will pay more for them. Here's where I'm going to be straight with you. Inset cabinets are the most challenging, most expensive, and most maintenance intense cabinet option you can choose. And most people don't find that out until they're living with them. First, let's talk cost. Inset cabinets require an extremely high level of craftsmanship, both in the shop and during installation. We're talking about tolerances measured in 1/16 of an inch. The cabinet boxes have to be perfect. The doors have to be perfect. The installation has to be perfect. All that precision costs money, typically 25 to even 35% more than a framed overlay cabinet for the same kitchen layout. And you should pay that premium if you're going to go with Inset, because cheap Inset cabinets are a disaster waiting to happen. I've seen budget Inset installations where doors are binding within 6 months, gaps are uneven, and homeowners are constantly adjusting things, trying to get them to work right. Which brings me to the maintenance issue. Inset doors and drawers sit inside the frame with just a tiny gap all the way around, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That gap needs to stay consistent or your doors will either be stuck or looking wrong. The problem? Wood moves with humidity and temperature changes. Your house expands and contracts with the seasons, and the Inset cabinets feel the movement more than any other style. If you live somewhere with 4 real seasons and significant humidity swings, your Inset cabinet doors will stick in the summer when everything swells, and you'll have bigger gaps in the winter when everything contracts. You'll be adjusting hinges constantly. That's how wood behaves in a frame with tight tolerances. There are also storage trade-offs, because the doors sit inside of a frame instead of covering it. You lose a little interior space. Your drawer boxes have to be narrower to clear the frame and the bulkier Inset hinges. In a large kitchen, this might not matter so much. In a small kitchen where every inch of storage counts, it absolutely does. So, who should actually get Inset cabinets? People with larger budgets who value that specific aesthetic and are prepared for the maintenance and the price. People in climate-controlled homes without huge humidity swings. People without kids climbing on cabinet doors. And honestly, people who find the process of adjusting and fine-tuning their cabinets kind of satisfying rather than annoying. For everyone else, I think you're spending money to create extra work for yourself. There are better ways to get a high-end look without the headaches. Not saying that every Inset cabinet and every Inset cabinet builder is going to have these issues, but in my experience, they do have more issues because of the things mentioned. Now, let's talk about frameless cabinets. Frameless cabinets have no frame at all, hence the name. The door mounts directly to the sides of the cabinet box. These are the ones that you see in every modern kitchen design. No wooden frame around the front of the cabinet, just the box itself with doors attached directly to the sides. This one has gained massive popularity, and for good reason. The storage benefit is real. Without that frame eating up the space at the opening, your usable interior width increases, drawers can be wider, and you can actually see and reach everything you're looking for on the shelf without a frame edge edge blocking part of the opening. In a compact kitchen, this matters more than you'd think. Aesthetically, Frameless delivers that sleek, modern vibe that people want. Cabinet doors sit right next to each other with minimal gap, no visible interruption between frames. Everything flows together in a clean, continuous surface. And cost-wise, Frameless usually comes in lower than framed or inset. Simpler construction means less labor and material. If you're on a tight budget and willing to assemble flat pack cabinets yourself, Frameless from a place like IKEA can save you some serious money. Here's the gotcha. Frameless cabinets live or die on build quality. That frame we're skipping, that provides structural support. Without it, the cabinet box itself has to be bulletproof or everything goes sideways. Literally. Cheap frameless cabinets start twisting at a square within a few years. Suddenly the doors don't line up anymore, drawers bind, the whole thing looks crooked, and even though nothing's broke, that's racky. And it's the death of frameless cabinets. Hinge failure is another common problem. Those hinges screw straight into the side panel. Use cheap materials or skimp on proper installation, and the hinges start pulling loose. Once that happens, repairs get messy. So if frameless is your direction, buy quality. Don't go bottom. Just because frameless can be cheaper, you need solid box construction with quality materials. IKEA hits a decent quality to price ratio. Custom frameless from a good cabinet shop is even better. With those bargain basement options at big box stores, you'll regret that savings in just a few years, if not months. Oh yeah, the installation matters too. Frameless cabinets are less forgiving with wall imperfections. Your installer needs walls that are actually straight and plumb, or they'll spend extra time shimming and adjusting to make everything look correct. But in short, frameless works great for modern aesthetics, smaller kitchens where storage is tight, and anyone who wants to maximize usable interior space. Just commit to the quality construction and professional installation. Now let's get into framed cabinets. The most common style here. It is probably what you grew up with. It's been an American standard for generations. A wooden frame attaches to the front of each cabinet box. Your door mounts to that frame, either covering it or leaving some visible. That frame serves a real purpose beyond looks. It acts like a skeleton, keeping everything rigid and square. The cabinet box behind it can be slightly less precise because the frame compensates. This is why frame cabinets age well. 20 years later, doors still line up and close properly because the frame kept everything true. You get incredible style, flexibility with frame. Want traditional? Use partial overlay doors that show off the frame. Want more contemporary? Full overlay doors that cover almost everything. Want that high-end inset look? You can build the inset doors into the frame boxes with less headache than pure inset construction. With this one, installation is more forgiving. The frame can be trimmed or scribed to fit imperfective walls. You'll need fewer filler strips. Installers can hide a lot of sins with frame cabinets that would have been obvious with frameless. The downside is reduced interior space. The frame takes up room at every opening. Your drawers are narrower than they would be in frameless. Across a full kitchen, you're giving up a noticeable storage capacity. For larger kitchens, this barely matters. For small spaces where every inch counts, it's worth considering. About the price, it sits in the middle. You're paying for more material and construction complexity than basic frameless, but you're not hitting the inset levels of precision cost. So who benefits from frame? Pretty much everyone, not specifically chasing modern minimalism or trying to maximize every cubic inch of storage. Traditional styles, traditional designs, farmhouse kitchens, framed is the natural choice. It is also the best option for people who want low maintenance cabinets that will just work for decades without constant adjustment. All right, decision time. If you're standing in a cabinet showroom right now trying to figure this out, here's my honest recommendation based on different situations. If you got a healthy budget and you're going for that high-end traditional or refined aesthetic and you're prepared for ongoing maintenance, go with Inset. Just know what you're signing up for. Use a skilled cabinet maker, expect to pay a premium price, and be ready to adjust those doors and drawers seasonally. It's beautiful, but it's high maintenance beautiful. If you're designing a modern contemporary kitchen and you want to maximize storage and smaller space, frameless is your answer. But don't cheap out. Invest in quality construction. IKEA is fine. If you're on a budget and willing to assemble carefully, custom frameless from a good shop is even better. Just avoid the super cheap big box options that'll be falling apart in no time. For everyone else, and I mean probably 70% of people watching this, framed cabinets are your best bet. They're durable, they're versatile, relatively affordable, and they don't require you to become a cabinet maintenance expert. A quality framed cabinet kitchen will look good and function well for decades with minimal fussing. Now I have to be honest, here's the funny part. Literally, no one's walking into your kitchen saying, "Wow, love that construction method." What they're actually looking at is the door style and the color and the hardware. the countertops, the behind the scenes stuff, totally invisible unless you're an installer. So pick what works for your budget and what you can actually keep clean without losing your mind. Honestly, we should probably do a whole video just on door styles. What do you think? Still deciding? Inset, frameless, or frame? Tell me in the comments. If you're a do-it-yourselfer or a homeowner who just needs some expert backup on design and selections, check out our design services at builtbybeckermedia.com. The Built by Becker Media site has my design starter kit, some templates, step-by-step planning help, and the link is in the description. And of course, hit subscribe for more smart cabinet tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.